You are listening to Comedy Club for Kids presents Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense.
Hey, capybaras are invading Pancake on Bogey's Land again. Wait a minute, I just realised no one cares. Thanks, Taylor, for that great intro to the show. Does no one care about the capybara invasions? No one? Anyone? Linda? Oh, no. I guess no one does. Hello and welcome to Radio Nonsense, the official Comedy Club for Kids podcast that's suitable for all ages from...
It's a walnut.
...to...
I'm covered in bees! Ah!
...and everything in between. I'm Tiernan, and listeners, do any of you actually like brushing your teeth? I think it's easily the most boring thing you have to do in a day, apart from maybe, putting your shoes on, or when you're asked to stare at a wall to make sure the paint is drying okay, or whenever your idle sewage heads, grown-ups, tell you about what happened in their day. No one cares what Steve said, alright? I don't know what any of your targets are. Aren't targets for firing arrows? Anyway, what are you talking about? What even is a manager? Isn't that what babies sleep in? So confusing. But yeah, brushing your teeth is nearly as boring as all of that. Isn't it, Linda? Linda? Do you brush your teeth, Linda? Ah, well. But obviously you have to do it, as otherwise all your teeth will fall out all at once, and then the tooth fairy will use them to buy herself a fancy car, and she won't collect anyone else's teeth ever again, because she'll be too busy driving around with the windows down, playing some big tunes. And no one wants that, not even boring Steve. Plus, it'll mean you can only eat soup, and I really love soup because you don't have to bother because it's all blended, but sometimes it's nice to eat things that crunch, and I don't want a crunchy soup. You can't have a soup made of rocks and shells. That would be horrible. What I'm saying, listeners, is I know you have to brush your teeth twice a day, so I am currently building a machine that will brush your teeth 730 times in one go, so that's a whole year's brushing done all at once. Does that sound good? Yeah, I think so. I just can't work out quite how many toothbrushes to attach to it, and if it should be called a Brushatron 12,000, or the Mighty Super Dental Mega Mouth, or maybe just Graham. Actually, that does sound good, doesn't it? Well, I've only got a few more tweaks that need to be made to Graham, but before I do that, what is in this week's mailbag? This is from Truster Always in Taiwan, who says, I love it. I listen to this podcast every day, and I also listen to your other podcast called Bust or Trust. I am a Truster Always. Excellent. Thank you, Truster Always, for listening to this and Bust or Trust every single day. Do you take it in turns? Well, I don't know how you fit that all in. That's a lot of listening. Maybe you've got 400 ears, and that makes it a bit easier. It would also be very weird if your name was Truster Always and you weren't on Team Truster. You know, it's a bit like when people are called Cliff, but they don't like standing on the edges of cliffs, or when people are called Susan Blancmange, but they don't like blancmange. Really odd. If the rest of you don't already listen to Bust or Trust, a kids mystery podcast, do check out that show as well, as I am on it too. Do you know, I should really do an episode on just where Linda is. This is from Thomas, who says, Hi, I am your friend and was looking through your window earlier and notices you are the one. By that, I am you hold the key to Linda, the holder of the Stinky Hippo spray. The Stinky Hippo spray arrays all hippos stinky or sweet. To get to Linda, by the way, there are 3 lenders, and one does Radio Nonsense. You must search them all. To do that, to ding the first Linda, you must go to your addiction, find the wise slide in the picture frame with Bob the Builder, then he will give you the advice you need, and then bring your key to your fridge in the pudding, then it shall open, then Linda 1 shall be there with potato chips. I am American. Or Stinky Hippo spray, or a magical lapel that gives you the power to make the best sandwich in the world. Do not read if you could make the advice find the rock in the Amazon forest with a smiley. For the second Linda, you just need a Stinky Hippo and a carrot and click a R button on, and computer will say, oh, hippos and carrots, or then you get the key. But this one has a challenge. To get to the vault, you must beat an apple with an angry face, with a big mouth, and then you get a chance to win. If you beat the pear, make him sad to win, then the third and final Linda will be unknown forever. But find clues in all McDonald's in the world. Start with Madison, Wisconsin in the USA, and Dublin, Ireland. Whew. Thanks, Thomas. That is so detailed. You've given me all the secrets to finding Linda, and I am really excited, hopefully, to get a lapel that makes the best sandwich in the world. This is all very exciting, and I can't believe that you just tell me that without me having to complete a quest for you or something. It sounds like a lot of work, I'll be honest, but I think I can do it. I'd better start packing for a real adventure that will take me all over the world in search for Linda. But before I do that... Hello, my name is Sir Westerdy Febigeu, and I am 101 ants old. And when you said no 100-year-olds, you didn't say of what. So I've been waiting 1 ant year, but in reality waiting 1 billion trillion million human years for no reason. I could have listened to it when I was 100 human ants old, because I was 1 billion trillion million human years old. So please be more specific for us Gibbedianos out there. Other than that, great podcast. Also, Linda is an astronaut now and is on Saturn with me. She sends her love. What? Well, I'm not going through all of Thomas's careful instructions, only to find that none of those Lindas will be there, and I won't get any lapels that make a special sandwich because Linda's now in space and not in a McDonald's in Dublin. So Westerdy Febigeu, I am so sorry at how many ant years and human years you've been waiting to listen to this show. I'm glad that you've got there eventually, but you are right, I should be a lot more specific. So just for anyone who wonders, you aren't allowed to listen to the show if you are 100 human years old, if you are 100 human ears old, if you are 100 sold cheers, or if you're 100 old gears. Got it? Or if you're a green walrus. Long story. I just hate that guy. I need to get back to making Graham, but before I do, don't forget that if you want to send in anything at all, whether it's a question that needs answering on the show, or an intro, or a joke that you'd like me to read out, please get your nearest idle sewage head, sorry, I mean grown up, to help you email me at podcast@comedyclub4kids.co.uk. Don't forget too that if you're in the UK, you can enter the competition to win a copy of Gary Panton's second Notwitches book by just emailing me, "Can I has a book, please?" And the first 3 that do will get sent a copy, but you've only got a week left to email that in, so hurry up. You can also give the show a review on Apple Podcasts, say hey on Spotify Q&A, or send us singing links to pop by and warble any message at me in the form of a song. Please also check out comedyclubforkids.co.uk for all of our live shows, and hopefully we'll be doing one in your area soon. Okay, I am nearly there with Graham, but while I finish that, you listen to this most importantest bit. I am very excited that back here on Radio Nonsense, it's the one, the only, the creator of the famous Ballet for Llamas, it's Sam C. Sam, thank you so much for coming back to the show. How are you?
Hello, or as most of my sort of dancers go, bleh.
They do go Blair. But is that you? That's you? Because I know that's a general llama response, but you've now made it part of their formal training to be able to blur in the most graceful way possible.
Yeah, because it took me about 3 months to learn the llama language. It took me another month to realize I was learning goat instead. So it took me another 3 months after that to realize this is really llama. So I have the bleh dance system. BLE?H.
That's beautiful.
Each of them represents a different part of the dance, a different part of the dip, the turns, and the ballet of it all.
It's the bits for me, and I must say this as a big fan of what you do, Sam, always, everything that you do, but particularly this Ballet for Llamas, it was the bit when they all pirouetted and spat into the air at the same time, covering the front row in llama spit, but everyone just applauded because of how beautiful it was.
Everyone but the front row, because
Yes.
they were just so entranced in the beauty of it.
Yes.
I mean, to get 15 llamas on their tippy hooves, wearing their gorgeous tutus made from animal cruelty-free context, mind you, very good, very safe cotton, dancing, and then it's very hard to do that too, of all things, Gilbert and Sullivan. Not a normal thing to do.
Not easy, but that's why it's incredible that you managed to. And I suppose one of my questions for you is, was it obvious that llamas were the way to go? You said you learnt the goat language by accident, but have you tried other animals on your way to llamas?
I mean, I don't want to share the insider secrets, but hey, Beatles weren't a good first shot, were they?
Oh.
No, they weren't a good option. And then, you try other things. You're like, hey, we can do the dogs, but let's not just do dogs. Let's do like chihuahuas, and they can do little hind leg stuff. And then you realize, oh no, you can't really do the chihuahuas because they have a bit of a not gonna spoil the secrets, but they're plotting something. They're plotting to take over all the Jaffa cakes. We can't work with the Chihuahuas anymore.
Wow.
It's been in the plan for years. I'm surprised it never reached you. Because they kept
No.
saying that you were behind it.
That I was behind. I've been framed. I knew nothing. I don't really talk to Chihuahuas because, as far as I'm concerned, they are too small to be a dog. And I say that there are small dogs that I will allow being small dogs. Chihuahuas, I just look at and I think you must be a rodent. There's no way that you can be. Yeah.
This is how it is. You've been caught and now you're throwing your compatriots down the river, selling them down the river. How could they support you from here to here? Listeners, I'm doing a very short measurement with my finger. From here to here.
Well, it's because they can't carry very much. So when they support me, when they try and lift me up, they can't do it for very long. I'm quite heavy.
And hence why no ballet for Chihuahuas.
That's true.
Was llamas. They've got good legs, good neck.
Very good neck, very woolly. Because do llamas get sheared like sheep? Do you know what? I realise I don't know enough about llamas.
Yes,
I'm
they do.
also
They get sheared. Yeah.
Oh, go for
They
it.
genuinely get sheared like sheep. So sorry, gang, we've turned educational for once. They actually do get sheared like sheep. They actually have people that do care for them, and they can overheat. The reason why you have to shear sheep and llamas is because they were too much wool and they get too hot, especially in this weather right now. It gets too toasty.
And especially in theatre auditoriums when they're in the middle of a dance. So you have to shear them before each performance?
Yeah, of course. That's also how we can recognize them easily. That's why I share all of their names in multiple languages up and down their body.
Wow.
Do you know how hard it is to shear in Swahili? That's a very gorgeous language, but my goodness, those curves and those turns. Oh,
wow.
It's so hard with a tiny razor.
That's
I'm
amazing.
going to monogram it myself.
I mean, that's an amazing thing to be able to do. And what do you do with all the excess llama fur? Do you provide yourself with lovely woolly jumpers, or is that used for something else?
What we do is that we sell them to adults. Because some of them are kind of going a little bit bald early.
Oh,
Some daddies and even mommies. Balding is for all genders. We sell it to them, and then they have those hair, and then they don't call it a wig. No, they call it a perm. Yes.
Oh,
so if you see anyone with a perm, they're actually bald. That's llama hair.
Wow.
No hair's really that curly.
See what beautiful services you're providing. You're providing culture and art and dance and hair for people who need hair. I mean, that's a really spectacular amount of service that you're giving the public, Sam.
Yeah, I mean, also, all the llama ballets are free. We've always wanted to make it free entry.
Yes.
And the reason why is because we want to give the arts back. Also, no, you'd be surprised, people don't really want to pay £50 for llamas. We've tried. We put it on Groupon. So that's an old reference. We put it on Snapchat. I don't know what the young version of Groupon. So back in the day, there was a website, young'uns, where you could get discounts.
It was amazing.
A lot of discounted options, and most of them were not good. Like my earlier attempts at the Chihuahua ballet. Oh, it was terrible.
But then how do you, my question? I mean, I hope that all the listeners listening to this are looking up Groupon right now and wishing that they too could get 10p off a really awful bag of crisps. I hope that they can live this dream. But the way you fund the ballet for llamas is that you sell the wigs for £6 million a llama wig. Is that correct? Is that how you do it?
I mean, it's 6 million, but not pounds. You got the currency wrong. It's a currency that only the llamas use.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, the currency is called...
Right.
So it translates from about £5 to about 1 million.
Wow. Okay, that makes sense. And if I, as a human, wanted to buy one of the wigs, which I don't because I have a lot of hair...
So much hair.
So much hair. It's actually... I should probably get sheared for the summer. That's probably what I should... I haven't thought about that before, but I get quite warm around July, August. Maybe I should shear myself. So if I wanted to get some currency...
Oh, no.
Sorry.
Say it correctly. There we go.
Right, so if I wanted some of that, where do I get this from? Or do I need to spit in a bucket for sort of hours at a time?
Fortunately, the exchange rate, the man, I'll say, the creature behind the exchange is one llama who roams all of London.
Right.
Gotta find him.
Right.
It's a bit hard, not gonna lie. He takes the train, and it's hard to find him on the train sometimes.
Wow. Which is interesting to me, because you'd think that if there was a llama on the train, a lot of people would be posting about it, messaging about it. But obviously he's very good at hiding or going in disguise.
No, he keeps playing music on his phone out loud, and everyone just wants to avoid eye contact.
Oh,
with him,
yes, I see. Yeah,
which is really annoying. It's really annoying. No one wants to tell you where he is, because they're like, we don't want you to walk with that chap. No, he plays music on the tube out loud.
Awful.
So a rude llama. Good exchange rates. Horrible llama.
Terrible llama. And what a brilliant tactic to stop people getting llama currency who aren't llamas. Do you know what? I might have to just wear some noise cancelling headphones and hunt this guy down. I want some llama currency. I'm very impressed.
Yeah, you gotta get those noise registers to sort of track down where the sounds of. My guess is that he's listening to The Lion Sleeps Tonight. Just on loop for the entire journey. You're just like, really? Is the lion still sleeping? Is he still sleeping? After this song, I don't think any of us are sleeping.
That feels like that isn't. I mean, obviously you know llamas and you work with llamas, so you've got insight into this. But that does feel like the ideal choice for a llama to be listening to. I'm very impressed. Very impressed. I do have to ask one more question. We've obviously listen. I've got a question for you, Sam, and you know that because you're the ideal person to answer it. And I've got to ask you our legally binding admin questions as well.
Please.
But one, and this is going to be controversial. And I'm so sorry.
Oh,
but
okay. I've felt this before. It's all right. We had this when we were setting up all the ballets. I'm ready, and I promise you, I am not a former CEO of Groupon. I am not at all part of it. I'm not trying to get it restarted.
That wasn't what I was going to. I was going to ask something more, and I don't want you to. I don't want you or your llamas to be offended. I was going to ask, you only work with llamas. Why not alpacas?
It's harder to spell, isn't it?
Yes,
it's a lot harder. Llama, you get over the double L very quickly.
Okay, yes.
Alpacas, is there a double L, double P, double A, double C? There is a double A, and there is a double P, until there isn't a double P, and then you realise, wait a minute, I'm still in bed. You just realise you've been dreaming.
That makes sense.
I know it's controversial to say, but alpacas are not real. They are a collective dream we've all had.
Oh my gosh.
We've all went to sleep and just went, what if llamas were a little bit bigger? Folly. Llamas can only get to yay high, only a little bit high. Any bigger, that's not real. They're a cryptid, like Bigfoot, or the Loch Ness Monster, or Paddington.
Wow, I mean, my mind is blown. Is this because?
Yeah.
So does this explain why, no one's really ever sure what the difference between alpacas and llamas is? And often when people say that's an alpaca, you realise no, it's a llama. You're just very close up.
Yeah, it's just a lot of people who are like, oh, this is an alpaca, and I'm like, no, you're just a little bit shorter than all of us. As a 5'5" man, I understand. I thought all llamas were alpacas, and I realised, wait a minute, I gotta get heels, I gotta get platform shoes, and then I saw life in a different light, mainly because I was closer to the light.
That's
physically.
Amazing. That's amazing. That's beautiful. And also now I wonder why there aren't expeditions to find the mythical alpaca now. Why aren't people searching the mountains for this creature or the rainforest? There must be, I mean, a bit like Bigfoot or Loch Ness, which definitely, Loch Ness must have...
Or Paddington.
Or Paddington, which definitely... Paddington's somewhere in Peru. I'm sure there's enough evidence to prove that now. But,
I've spent too much money. It's not in Peru. I'm sure he's somewhere on a London tube also playing music out loud on his phone, but not at a different song. Just to throw us off the scent. Or maybe the same song. I don't know. I'm not saying I spent 10 years looking for Paddington. It's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm not saying I wasted my family fortune looking for this little bear. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying I bought every single marmalade factory and put all of it into a giant circle with a string around it and waited just to hook him up. No, I'm not saying I've wasted my life. No, I'm not saying I've wasted my life in that or Groupon. No.
He's a very smart bear. I mean, this is the thing: is if if Paddington does exist, which I'm pretty sure he does, and you've just been very unlucky.
He's real. Dang it. He's real.
From all the evidence that I have seen, your trap would go horribly. He would somehow slide in the marmalade. The trap would get set off, catapulting someone else entirely, while Paddington then caused a series of bus crashes, buildings collapse, baths to overflow. He leaves a trail of destruction. He's a very dangerous creature to go near.
Yeah, and it's hard to... Wait, sorry. Is there something over your shoulder? Is there like something furry there behind you in a raincoat?
Is there? I mean, it could just be I have a lot of hair. We've discussed this before. It could just be...
Oh, sorry. You just start to see things after you hunt this bear for so many years.
I'm sure.
Terrifying.
Very scary. Well, the listeners, thank you. Thank you for answering the controversial questions. Sorry about the Paddington years.
Wait, hold on. He's behind your shoulder again. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold. Could you put a hat on your head?
Yes, of course. There you go. This is my red hat. Oh, I really like my red hat that I wear with
It's you. I've been looking for you for years. Was this a trap?
Listen,
not a real podcast.
Listen, the reason I brought you here, Sam, is because I know you own the marmalade factories, and I finally decided I need you to cough up. You need to send some of that my way. Otherwise, a hard stare.
No. Okay. I'll transfer it over.
Thank you.
Do you accept Wise or PayPal?
Both at the same time.
Okay.
Right. Exactly the same time. And some Groupons.
Oh, it's okay. Here's 10p off a tangerine.
Brilliant. Oh, thank you. That's all I needed. Which tangerines, of course, could be made into a marmalade. Listen. My secret identity as Paddington aside. Thank you for coming on the show. I'm sorry to have had to reel it to you in that way. We've got, I mentioned this before, we've got legally binding questions I have to ask you, but I think I remember that you're okay with admin.
Yes, I love admin. Love it so much.
Yeah.
I even competed in the World Excel Championships before.
Wow.
Not a silly joke, that's real, sadly. That's not silly. That's not part of the nonsense. That's an actual thing I've done.
Did you all have to sit round a table? Is that how that worked? Or...
We all open up Microsoft Excel and we are told to solve a problem within 10 steps. We all get really chuffed with ourselves when we can.
That is amazing and terrible. But I'm very impressed. In which case, I'm sorry, these aren't... You could put these in a spreadsheet, I suppose. See how you go. The first question is something that you have answered before, but as you're aware, Sam, that this podcast is suitable for listeners of all ages, the Age of Empires, the Bronze Age, 7, 436, whatever age you can imagine, they tune in. And so I just want to check if there are any rude words you won't be saying to make sure this show stays family friendly.
No, I won't be saying any of the rude words, like group discounts and refunds. Oh, we never say refund. That's a terrible word to say. Awful word to say.
Refund is a terrible word.
And I won't say it. The worst thing, I've wasted my life tracking Paddington down. Any of those things.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, refunds is a particularly... Do you know if I hear the word refunds...
Don't say that word.
Well, no, I'm not... I'm making sure I won't say it by letting people know the word that I won't be saying.
Okay,
so
of course, yes.
It's fine. But my issue with refunds is nearly as if you hear it. You hear it in a shop when you're about to have to wait a really long time behind someone who's got 3 bags of things they bought 20 years ago and now wants to send them all back.
Oh, yes. The horrible people trying to get... You know the word.
Yes.
I just can't.
Yes.
Just can't. I'm traumatized. by it.
I understand. I really appreciate you not saying any of those words. What was the other ones? Group discount? Yes. But you're okay with just individual discounts?
Yeah, of course. A person is entitled to a little bit of a freebie, but all of you, no. Not the collective. No, the individual, yes.
That's nice. Okay, well, that's fair. And what was the last... Oh, yes, and your 10-year mission to find... Well, we won't talk about that. We won't... To find me. I'm so sorry, but this is, again, another reason why I insisted we did this call remotely, because I couldn't
have trained those llamas to dance for years. I could have become the champion of the World Excel Championships. I don't know which reality is sadder, but I could have been.
Would you consider a world where you put all the ballet llama dance moves, balama? I never thought of that. Balama?
Oh, I'm copywriting that now.
Anyway, but
No,
would you?
no, they aren't
not
real.
alpaca. Would you consider putting all the ballet llama dance moves into an Excel spreadsheet for a comprehensive list?
You don't think I already
Of course. I'm sorry.
You don't
it's a
think
foolish
I
thing for me
sell
to say.
them on the black market of the Excel World Championships? Oh, I've been the champion for years, but no one knows it's been me selling them all the data, all the little formulas of those little llamas dancing around in the dark. I'm not going mad.
See, you've accused me of scheming now as both Paddington and also as a Chihuahua, Chihuahua, Chihuahua.
Oh no! He's gone. He's lost the plot. He's gone around the twist.
As a
He's
sort of
starting his
conspirator.
own Chihuahua opera over there.
That's a lovely idea. The Chihuahua. I'll do that. I was going to say, but you clearly have you've got these devastating villainous like Excel spreadsheet plans going on.
I would say they're villainous. No, they're helpful.
Helpful,
They're giving
of
something
course.
back to both society and my wallets. Yes, you see, I've not been driven mad from the hunt for you, no. It's not like I've made all sorts of Excel sheets. It's not like I created Google Sheets in a fit of madness one night, staring at the
you.
computer.
That
going,
says a lot.
What if I could make Google Excel, but kind of worse?
Like the much worse, the Groupon version. The
Same color, green, the
Oh,
color
yes.
of money. Not
My
in this
goodness.
country, but in most countries.
I mean, I feel like this episode is gonna. My worry is already this episode. We haven't even got to the main question yet, but that this episode is going to spout so many theories and conspiracies across the internet. A lot of things have come to light today, Sam, that I don't know if they were ever meant to come to light.
If you go into an Excel sheet and type my name in forwards and backwards, you will be arrested by
Wow.
the actual police. So don't. It's not a good Easter egg. I'm sorry.
Yeah, don't-
I wasn't
yeah,
gonna have
don't- just don't do
it's
that.
Not a
I
good
think it's
one.
probably- yeah, good
Whatever
point.
you do, don't type my name in forward and backwards if you don't want to be arrested.
It's like, what would just your name backwards? Eastmas? Is that what it would be?
Eastmas.
Eastmas.
Yes.
That's a good.
Sansi Imas.
It sounds like you'd say Merry Eastmas.
It's like a pig Latin version of Christmas.
Yeah, I like that. It's lovely. That's very nice. Actually,
Merry Eastmas.
I think you should consider walking backwards more places. Just being in reverse. I think it's a very nice name.
If I did everything backwards, that'd be. You know what? Yeah, I'll do everything backwards. Hold up. Welcome to the podcast. I'm so happy to have my guests on the podcast here
What?
with me.
No, hang on, no.
You're
What?
the guests now.
No.
Oh, and I hear
Hang on.
he is a champion in biscuit throwing. Please welcome to the
How did you know
podcast,
that?
Tiernan, everybody. This champion of biscuit tossing.
Thank you for. How did you know about my biscuit throwing? This is very impressive.
My windows have been broken for days thanks to your work.
You are, and you really need a good solid biscuit to do that. I tend to go for a custard cream or a bourbon because it's got the double layers and therefore more powerful in a throw. Whereas a cookie can crumble far too easily.
Yeah. Now, I know it's a controversial question. I have to ask it. It is. We're legally obligated to ask this. Do you consider the Oreo a cookie?
Oh no, that's brutal, isn't it? I think it has to be because I don't know what other food it could be. That's what you could. It's not a sandwich, even though technically I suppose it is biscuit filling biscuit, so it could be a sandwich. Maybe it's a sandwich.
Could it not be a sugary hamburger?
Could be a sugary hamburger. That's true. That's very true. Actually, I never even thought about that. It could be an edible yo-yo. I think if you tied a string around the middle, it could be an edible yo-yo.
Yeah, but only once. But only once.
Only once, and then you'd have to eat it on the way back up. Yeah, that's a good point. Very good point.
You eat it and it goes back up from the mouth, and then you put it back in down the gullet, out the mouth.
Yeah, but then that'd be annoying.
like
I wouldn't
fish.
want it back out. I'd want to eat it. That would be so frustrating.
Oh, it's a great way to spend time with the kids over Christmas. Just come on, kids, catch the yo-yo.
Merry Eastmas.
Merry Eastmas.
Well, listen. Now I'm the getter. Do you need to ask me the next question, or should I ask you the next question?
why don't we ask 2 different questions at the exact same time?
Okay. All right. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Sam,
So
would
when
you
were going
rather
to
have a shell
IKEA,
on your back
and then when
like
you
a
go over
snail,
there,
or be
how do
the
you feel
arch
about
enemy
Billy
of
the
directions? So they
bookcase
always
when
show
he's
you the wrong
angry at
way.
you for not shaving? Great question.
Yeah, really
So
good
I
question.
would love
Yeah.
to be the Archbishop of Backwards.
I am scared of not shaving in case that situation comes through. Is that yes?
Yeah, that's yes.
Great, okay,
Yeah,
good.
Fantastic. We're great at this. We're fantastic.
I think that should work. Yes, yeah. Well, I mean, I was gonna ask you that question for legal reasons, but I think we've covered it by both answering a different question to the one that was asked at the same time.
Exactly.
Yes. Right. Well, in which case, I think we should
Should crack on,
We
shouldn't
should
we?
just crack on. This question's been. Well, hang on again. This is a question for you. Do you need to ask me one at the same time?
No, we'll take turns. We'll take turns now. It's going to be quite impossible to listen to with this podcast.
Well, that was my
asking.
worry. Well, I think you've already answered the "Would you rather" question. So This is a question that's sent in by a listener called David, and that's
Hi,
all.
David.
That's the only detail I have about David. I don't have his name, his age. Oh, I have his name. I don't have his age. I don't have his whereabouts. I don't have his hobbies on a Sunday afternoon. I don't have his favourite type of burrito. You know, there's no other information. He's just David, which makes me wonder. He could be the famous statue David. Could be a famous David. Could just be David. Could just be the very first David.
Could it be the plunderer of the South Seas, David Gates?
Yeah, yes, it could be David Gates.
The plunderer of the South Seas? Oh my goodness, I mean, I'm not sure we should be answering this question, but let's throw caution to the wind. If we don't, he might plunder us too. So,
That's
how
very
can
true.
we help you, David?
Yes, I don't want any plundering. That's a worrying idea. Well, I think the best way is if you can answer. It's a good. Do you know what? This is exactly the sort of question I think the plunderer of the South Seas might ask. David has asked Sam, do dragons like bubbles?
Do dragons like bubbles? Well, as I'm not saying I'm a premier expert, I'm sort of the third most successful expert in bubbleology. And I would say most animals do like bubbles. Dragons, on the other hand, are confused by bubbles. Because you see, dragons are known for the ability to breathe not just fire, but various elements. A red dragon breathes fire, you would see a green dragon that breathes sort of noxious fumes, black dragon can breathe black lightning, but none of them can breathe bubbles. That's something out of their lineage. So they don't like them, they are perplexed. They have spent years in their own research trying to understand how bubbles work. How can we, as humans, blow bubbles, but them, as these mythical, gigantic, majestic beasts, are unable to? And the reason is, they got big old claws. They can't open up the little bubble things.
Yes,
it's really
of
hard.
course. Very tricky.
Yeah,
Very tricky to hold those little bubble sticks. You know that you blow the bubbles through. I don't know what they're called. Bubble wands.
Yeah, bubble wands. But the problem is that because they've got long claws, it's really hard to sort of get their claws into the wands. And then when they do, they got really small arms. They're like T-Rexes. You can't reach the mouth. So they're really perplexed. Now, they could have easily done this if they worked together, but dragons are known to be very selfish beasts, so it's a bit hard.
It bothers me as well, because I think if you were a dragon, you could get to quite high up in the sky and blow bubbles. Like one of the big problems for me is you blow bubbles, they very quickly reach the ground or something they can pop on. Whereas if you were up in the sky, you could blow bubbles. They'd go on for ages.
Oh yeah, but the problem is that little hands can get to their mouth. The only bubbles they've been known to blow are snot bubbles. But
yes,
that's a bit rude. You shouldn't blow snot bubbles.
Is that green? Do green dragons blow snot bubbles? What kind of dragon does?
All dragons blow snot bubbles, not just
right.
the green. It's a misconception that only the green ones are the gross ones. I'm sorry to say, the red dragon's equally gross. Don't even ask me how they make their toots. Oh, those toots are nasty.
Well, I always worry
toots.
that if you are breathing fire out of one end, and you get the toots at the other end, that's like you've eaten a lot of chilies, right? That's got to be some pretty awful.
Why do you think you've never seen a dragon wear pants?
Yeah,
they just burn.
They just burn away with the dragon farts.
Yeah,
Wow.
and they used to be called these flying liars because their pants were always on fire. And then the dragons were like, right, we need a rebranding.
Wow.
And then they got in touch with this little company called HBO, and now they're just known for being... Before all of this Song and Ice and Fire and Game of Thrones, they were known as the Fire Pants people. They were known as just a bunch of flying liars.
Wow.
See,
well, because there's
that's where
Puff
good
the
branding
Magic.
takes you.
I was going to say there's Puff the Magic Dragon. I always feel like the name Puff is like that sounds like a little fart, like Puff the Magic Dragon, like just a little one you'd let go. Maybe you'd singe a few trees.
Oh yeah, no, the puff was just the sound of his pants going up in flames.
Wow, that's a very different rhyme. I wondered because I know you're only the third Premier expert, or no, you're the third Premier expert on bubbles, but not necessarily on dragons. But it's interesting you're saying that all the dragons breathe different elements. But one is fire, and then there's an icy you can get ice dragons. But then I thought the other elements were what was it? There's earth and air. So there must be a dragon that just breathes air that's just a bit rubbish, and then one that breathes out and lots of soil falls out, and it's a bit weird.
No, it's like the earth dragon is basically just shooting concrete out of its bum, just shooting concrete out of its bum. That's all the earth dragon is.
Very handy in construction.
Just rude. Yeah. Just a rude air dragon just burping and farting. It's like, no, I'm breathing fire. Like, you're just burping and farting, sweetheart.
That would be... But I like the idea... You could hire the Earth Dragon for construction firms, and just it could fart out a building a few times a day. That would be very useful.
How do you think the Barbican was made?
Oh, of course.
What do you think it's all pure concrete? It's just because they hired an Earth Dragon and was really into rounds and curves.
I can't believe they don't discuss that as for listeners who don't know the Barbican. It's a brilliant building in the middle of London, but it is. I feel like that explains a lot.
Oh yeah. Please Google it. If you're young and ask your parents to tell you or show you pictures. It's fantastical. It's like being transported back to the 80s, where the perms were real and not llama wigs.
Those were the days.
Those are real perms back in the days, kids.
And now you could look at those pictures of Barbican and go, what a fantastic building that was definitely farted out by an Earth Dragon.
Yeah. Yes, that was a Toot Productions. Good old Toot Productions.
It's such a shame that we have all these stories about dragons, all these fantasy and mythical stories, and they're always about fire-breathing ones. And I just wish there were a few more about the ones that burped and the ones that farted concrete. And I wish, St. George and the dragon, he'd gone to tackle a dragon, the dragon had just built a 3-story building around him. That would have been amazing.
Yeah, no, probably not, because then the name of the story would be St. George and the Contractor.
That's true.
And it's not as noble of a story for Knight of the Realm.
That's true. St. George and the issues with planning permission, and it'd be very different.
But there is a saying that every time you are on the shores of Brighton and you see the sea breeze, it's just an air dragon having just after some burritos. It's not a sea. It's just they're just out there in the wilderness, just trying to not be seen for tooting that much. But then you can feel it. You can feel the toot in your hair.
You can feel the toot in your hair, and I'm worried that you can taste the salt in your mouth. That's the bit that upsets me a lot. Yeah, that's really very horrible.
Don't even put it in my mind.
Well, I mean, listen, what an answer! Thank you. I hope David is happy with that answer. Before he causes trouble down in the South Seas. I hope that answer calms him. Thank you for that, Sam. Listen, sorry about the Paddington reveal earlier. And I hope
the refund's coming for the marmalade factories. Hey, since you're here, you ever thought about restarting a website that gives coupons away for terrible discounts and deals?
Listen, I'm very interested. Maybe we could call it Group Off. Would that work?
Yeah, Group Off. Yeah,
Group Off. Yeah.
Only discounts to the individual, not the collective.
It sounds perfect. And and I was going to ask you what your plans are for the next 153 years. What have you got coming up?
I got the Sudoku book. It's like I'm not really good at it. So I think by 153 years, I'd figure it out, right? Like, just put numbers in boxes, right?
Yeah, I don't even think they have to be the right ones. I think you can just put any numbers in the boxes. I think that's how it is. Just your favourite numbers.
If I truly get bored, I've got Bluey and box set.
Oh,
That'll do.
Great. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Well,
Bluey and Sudoku.
I wish you all the best for that lovely. It sounds like a lovely 153 years. I have to say, it sounds really stress-free compared to everything else that you've been up to. So I wish you all the best with that, and thank you for once again coming on Radio Nonsense. And hopefully we'll speak to you soon.
I'm always happy to return with the llamas next time, and only the llamas.
Thanks so much to Sam C, who took time away from all of his llamas to, well, accuse me of being Paddington Bear and also answer David's questions. David, I do hope you liked your answers, but if not, why not give any complaints you have to a fire-breathing dragon, and they'll hopefully get slayed by a hero before they can reach me, and I'll never have to hear your complaints. If you have a question that you need to get answered, or you want to send in anything else at all, including an entry to win the Not Witches prison break, then please get your nearest idle sewage heads, grown-ups, to help you email me at podcast@comedyclub4kids.co.uk. Do also check out comedyclubforkids.co.uk for all of our live shows and the other podcast I do, Bust or Trust, a kids mystery podcast. And listeners, you'll be pleased to know, I have completed Graham. And now to see what happens when I brush my teeth 730 times in one go. I've got no tooth. It's busting all the ways. Help! Help!
I'll help ya!
Are you the tooth fairy? Well, would I at least get loads of money for these teeth?
No, because you're a grown-up. And what would you do with the cash? Probably talk about targets or something. Yawn, I'm off to buy me a big fancy car. Woohoo!
Oh, nice. And now it's going to be extra hard to do the podcast with no teeth. Oh, wait a minute. If I just concentrate really hard, teeth. There you go. All new teeth. Oh, and these are nice ones as well. They fit perfectly, except for that one. But that's okay. I guess I have to brush these normally then, though. Rubbish. Sorry, Graham. See you all next week. Bye.
You have been listening to Comedy Club for Kids presents. Radio nonsense, radio nonsense, radio nonsense, radio nonsense, radio nonsense. It's the end.